Welcome to this first charge introduction into the charging of electric vehicles at First Bus London. We will take you through the process of connecting and disconnecting electric vehicles to charging points safely. There are several different charger types within First Bus London, and the connection of chargers should only be carried out by trained and competent individuals. First bus drivers should not connect or disconnect chargers, and third-party First Charge customers should seek advice from the yard controller before parking at any charge point. Before parking at any charge point, check where your vehicle charge socket is located. This will need to be near enough to the charge station to allow connection without overstressing the charging cables. Check that the area is free of any trailing cables. If this is the case, safely move the cables away before parking at the charge point. Reversing should be kept to a minimum, and where required, bank's person assistance should be sought. Eco Energetica Axon Easy 400. To place a vehicle on charge, first open the vehicle charge flap and inspect the charging area for any excessive moisture. If any excess moisture is noticed around the charging points, please seek advice before placing on charge. Remove the vehicle's charging plug covers, if fitted. Remove the charging gun from the charging unit. Use one hand on the charging gun and your other hand to support the weight of the charging cable. Push the charging gun fully into the vehicle charging socket. On the touchscreen control panel, select the correct payment method and charge cable. In this example, the correct selection is A. First Charge customers should follow the on-screen instructions to validate your vehicle account. The charge will now start its vehicle initialization process. The charger will communicate with your vehicle and assess the current battery status and charge level. The lights at the corresponding edge of the charging unit will change to blue to indicate that charging has commenced. How far up the side of the unit the blue light is illuminated will indicate the current level of charge. In our example, the vehicle has 99% charge, so the blue light runs high to meet the top of the charge unit. You can tell from a distance the level of charge without the need to activate the control panel. The exact amount of charge is displayed on the control panel. To stop charging, select the appropriate charging cable on the control screen and then press stop. The charging unit will stop the charging process, then indicate on the control screen that charging has completed. Disconnect the charge cable gun and replace back into the appropriate cable port on the charging unit. Replace the covers on your vehicle's charging ports and close your charging port flap. Before leaving the charging point, ensure the charging cables are stowed correctly and not in a position where they can be damaged by vehicle movements. Eco Energetica SAT Box Charger. To charge using the satellite box charger, simply remove the charging gun from the holder and plug into the vehicle charge point. The green light will flash while the charger initializes with the vehicle. The blue charge light will flash as the unit initiates the charging process. The blue light will then turn steady once charging commences. If a red light is displayed, then this indicates an error. If this happens, please seek advice from the yard controller. To stop charging, press the red stop button. The blue light will start to flash, indicating that the charging cable can be removed from the vehicle. Remember to return the charging gun back to the holder near to the charging unit. BYD charger. Open the two left-hand charge points on the vehicle. Connect both cables from the charger to the vehicle. It does not matter which cable is connected to which port. It may be easier to connect these cables one at a time, rather than both together. Return to the charging unit and press the start on the touch screen. The charge will analyze the condition of the battery before displaying the approximate charge time needed to deliver a full charge. The green LED lights will display on the unit to indicate when the cables are connected. The charging LED will flash green as the vehicle charges. Once charging is complete, the completed LED lights will flash. To stop charging, press the Stop Charge button on the touchscreen control panel. Remove the cables from the vehicle and return them to the charge gun holders on the charging unit. Please note that when charging is active, the charge guns are locked in position to the vehicle. Ensure you have correctly stopped the charging process before attempting to remove the cables from the vehicle. Eco-Energetica Axon Easy 400 early model. This charger is very similar to the later model. The control panel is different and is not touchscreen. To charge, plug the charging gun into the vehicle. There is no need to press the Start to Stop button to start charging. The charging unit will automatically run through its initialization process and then will start the charge automatically. The screen will display each step of this process before settling on the charge status screen. To stop charging, press the Start to Stop button once to activate the unit out of its display hibernation. Press and hold the Start and Stop button for 1 second to stop the charging process. Remove the charging gun from the vehicle and return this to the charging unit. In case of emergencies, both the BYD and Eco-Energetica Axon Easy 400 chargers have emergency stop buttons on the right-hand side of each charging unit. In an emergency, never put yourself at risk, only press the button to isolate the charge if safe to do so. Additional emergency stop buttons can be found at the end of each charging bank. Thank you for your attention during this instructional video. Remember that in all cases, unit users should check the condition and security of all charging cables and connectors. If any damage is noted, then the charging unit should not be used, and advice should be sought from the yard controller. Thank you for contributing to First Bus London's Home Safe Every Day. Ethos.